Everything these days just isn't as fun as it used to be. Video games are boring. When you hop on Netflix, you just scroll for an hour and give up because you couldn't find anything to watch. When you buy those new sneakers that you had your eyes on all month, you get them, you're excited, and then by the end of the week, all you got was 2 compliments from your friends and you forgot why you even wanted them in the first place. You remember that as a kid, your favorite treats were so delicious. Now it seems like they don't even taste that good anymore. Why does it feel like everything in life is just starting to become mid? I'm Greg, I'm a self-improvement YouTuber, and if you could hit like or subscribe on this video, I'd greatly appreciate it, and it'd be a win-win for both of us. There's this one memory from high school that I remember pretty vividly, and it was the summer between 9th and 10th grade, which for me would be around 2017. And basically what I remember in that memory is the entire 2 months of summer vacation disappearing in almost an instant. It literally felt like school had ended, the summer flashed past, and then it was school again. In my mind, it felt like that summer disappeared so quickly, and I could never really figure out why that happened. Looking back now though, I can safely say I know why it felt like it went so fast. I followed the same routine pretty much every day that summer. I would wake up, maybe brush my teeth and eat breakfast, and then I'd hop on my PlayStation and play for roughly 10 hours every day. And if I wasn't playing on my PlayStation, I was watching Netflix or maybe in rare cases going outside to play with my friends who were having fun playing basketball or baseball or just heading outside enjoying the summer. Meanwhile, I was cooped up in my room staring at a screen and eating snacks every once in a while. Now, for you guys that watched that video about me talking about video games, I'm not here to bash video games again. However, I am going to use that one summer vacation as an example as to why everything that we feel like we enjoy kind of ends up feeling a little meaningless and pointless afterwards. Now, the main purpose of this video is going to be talking about instant gratification. By now, we should know that instant gratification is basically the actions or anything that brings you instant pleasure, instant dopamine, that makes you happy in the moment. So, as I said before, for me, it was video games. Before you start thinking that I'm preaching to you about everything you're doing wrong, I am probably the best example of how bad instant gratification can mess up a person and their mind. I already mentioned to you guys how I spent that entire summer playing video games, repeating the same cycle, going to bed late, all for the sake of instant gratification. But that's not where it stopped. As a matter of fact, my addiction to instant gratification kind of continued after that. Even on school days, the following summers, all it did was get worse. My brain's addiction to instant gratification got so bad to the point where during quarantine in 2020, on the days where I felt no motivation to work out or anything, I was completely unproductive, I would find myself spending literally up to 12 hours staring in front of a screen, not even playing video games because that would be too much work. And the worst part is, it was an absolutely vicious cycle. See, you'd watch YouTube, but who just wants to watch YouTube? You have to have a nice, delicious comfort food meal with you as you watch your YouTube so you can enjoy it, right? So I would grab some food, watch YouTube for probably 3 hours, then I would get hungry, but I can't eat the food by itself because how am I supposed to enjoy the food without watching my YouTube or my Netflix? So this cycle of getting food, watching entertainment, getting food, watching entertainment would repeat itself dozens of times over the course of weeks and months, to the point where it was all I ever did. I barely took the time to spend time with other people, hang out with my friends, my family. I pretty much neglected working out, even though that was probably the one productive thing I did. Everything else that I did revolved around basically instant gratification activities that brought me instant happiness, but literally no long-term enjoyment. And the thing is, when you're stuck in the instant gratification trap, it is genuinely difficult to get out. This is because in the modern world, we're always being bombarded with something that's the next big thing that's going to make you happy right now. Think of all the fast food advertisements that you see in just one day. You're constantly being shown these advertisements of these big, delicious meals, and the people in the commercials look so happy and they're enjoying themselves. And then you go out to get it. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times a week, every day of the week. And then your 4th, 5th, 6th week in of constantly getting junk food and fast food as your meal, it starts to get old. It gets old really fast, but Nothing else really tastes that good, so why would you bother getting anything healthy? I mean, we only live one life, you might as well enjoy it, right? But are you enjoying it? Ask yourself genuinely, am I really enjoying this lifestyle that I'm living? And when I ask you, are you enjoying it? You can lie to me. You can lie to me, you can lie to your parents, you can lie to your friends, you can lie to anyone, but don't lie to yourself. Ask yourself genuinely, am I enjoying this lifestyle that I'm leading? If I were to continue this for the next 2 or 3 years, 5 years, would I be in a significantly better place than I am now? Not only do these instant gratification activities hook us into these repetitive behaviors, but after a while, we start to convince ourselves and lie to ourselves that, yeah, I'm having fun. You only live once, you have to enjoy it. And this is probably what I think is the most unhealthy part of it, when it starts to become addiction and just normal. This situation might seem a little hopeless to you, but I guarantee you that there is definitely a small population of people who are building their immunity to instant gratification. And you might be part of them if you're on self-improvement. One of the things that I find most important about the mental health part of self-improvement is becoming self-aware of your thoughts and actions. Because once you're self-aware and mindful and present-minded about the things that you're doing every day, you start to realize how pointless a lot of the instant gratification stuff you're doing is. You catch yourself scrolling on Instagram and TikTok after the first couple of minutes and you're like, hey, this is kind of pointless. Why would I keep doing this? Let me go sit down. Let me go take a shower or something. How about I go head to the gym instead of doing this? This is kind of useless. It's not getting me anywhere. And the thing is, that's kind of the key to getting out of instant gratification addiction. You can replace those addictive behaviors by installing positive habits into your life. And one of the habits and behaviors that you can replace something negative with is working out. Why? Because it gives you something else to do. I started to find that the days that I went to the gym instead, and I really tired myself out, I would get home, eat, and want to go straight to bed. I wouldn't end up scrolling on Instagram. I wouldn't end up watching YouTube until 2 in the morning. Because I had given myself something else to do, it essentially eliminated or greatly reduced some of those negative habits. If you're still watching to this point, you're probably one of the few people that didn't lie to themselves when I asked, are you genuinely enjoying your lifestyle? I think it's very important that you start to take seriously finding the times that you're falling back into instant gratification. The more you become aware that you're falling for it, the less susceptible you'll be to falling back into instant gratification. I'm definitely still guilty of once in a while falling for instant gratification. I still sometimes find myself watching YouTube for an hour or two, maybe even 3 or more. But the most important part is I'm aware that I'm doing this. And by being aware that I'm doing this behavior, I can start meditating on it, I can start journaling about it, and I can think introspectively about why I'm doing this and how I can combat this. All it really takes is building up your mental health, and you can become essentially immune to instant gratification. Let me show you an example real quick. I have these chips right here that I keep in like a bin under my desk, and they still have some chips in there. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because maybe 2 years ago, if I would have had this same bag of chips right where I had them now, they would have been finished on the first day. I've had these chips down there for probably close to 2 or 3 weeks, and I still haven't finished them. Why? Because I've built up the self-control to not fall into instant gratification. Sometimes if I do want a small snack, I'll eat them, but knowing that you have the self-control to only eat a small amount almost feels like a superpower. That's all I really have for instant gratification for now, so I'll leave you with that. Winners win, losers lose. Go be a winner today.